Well, actually, is that a numbered one?
No.
No.
That's not a number.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure about that too on these.
So, because I never know.
So Sonny's
Just so you know.
talked about adjustments on.
Yeah.
My chair feels weird. Who's been sitting in my chair?
So it's more internal.
Yeah, but somebody's been sitting.
Somebody's been sitting.
That's right. Who's been sleeping in my bed? I guess mama bear is appropriate, so my daughter calls me.
Yes, there you go.
For like 30 seconds.
It's that awkward silence before calling before the song.
Well, we could have them do it, we just can't see
Just
it.
can't see it. All right, call this meeting of the Fremont County Board of Commissioners to order. If you'll please rise and join me in the invocation from Tom Kilgore from First Southern Baptist Church, and then the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me in prayer. Father, I thank you for the leadership that stands before me now. And as we often pray, I pray for leadership for them, for influence for them, for wisdom as they guide our county. God, as we come before you, I'm reminded of those in need throughout our county, those without jobs, those who have no food, those who have no heat. God, make us ever mindful that we, as your servants and as the leadership, not only of the elected ones, but the citizens of this county, have an obligation to one another. For each of us are brothers and sisters. So God, help us to help each other. I'm also reminded that there are firemen, there are policemen, there are EMT, there are all kinds of folks who are first responders in our county who give their lives for our safety each and every day. And God, thank you for them and how they keep our county safe. And then finally, God, the decisions that have to be made here today and every day by the leadership. God, I just ask you to give them the kind of thoughts and the kind of wisdom they need to make the best decisions they can for our county. Bless now this time. Bless those behind me and those in front of me, for we are all children made in your image. God, guide us, and thank you for this great, great nation you've given to us. And may we be one nation under God. In your name we pray. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall,
Present.
Commissioner Bell,
Present?
Commissioner Payne,
Present?
County Attorney Jackson,
Present.
County Clerk Grantham,
Present.
County Manager Bryant,
Present.
Planning and Zoning Department Mr. Butler.
Present.
Thank you. All right, next thing is approval of agenda. I think we have an addition.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have an addition. We also have a minor correction to today's agenda. Under new business, item 4, it will be hanger number 5 rather than 43. We also need to add a new business item. This will be item number 7, a resolution for the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado, declaring Fremont County to be a Second Amendment sanctuary county. So with that, I move to approve today's agenda.
Second.
Okay, thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve today's agenda with a couple of, an addition and a correction. Any other discussion? All in, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner Payne,
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Just do it myself, huh? All right, next is the consent agenda. Note that there are no public hearings scheduled, going to be scheduled.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne,
Aye.
Commissioner Bell,
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Motion carries.
On to administrative and informational. Staff and elected officials. First, we'll start with County Manager Report. Sonny Bryant, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So just a couple of quick things that we have going on right now. We're working on closing out the 2018 fiscal year, so it's a lot of work as far as doing all of the journal entries and accruing all of the revenues and expenses. And our final audit is in April, so we're getting everything finalized before then. This Thursday, we have our annual cost allocation plan meeting. So each year we go through the process to determine the indirect costs associated with each department within the county. This is a requirement for our Department of Human Services because we actually get reimbursement from the state based on that plan. And so our first meeting is this Thursday to start preparing that information. And then over the last few weeks, I actually attended a couple of managers' luncheons. So we had an area managers, which is the managers in our area, and then we had a regional managers group. And so it's always good to see what the communities around us have going on and see what they're doing that's successful or what I can learn from some of their mistakes. And so it's good to get involved with those groups. And I'll
Thank
go
you.
into the
Yep.
sales tax report. So the retail sales tax collections for the month of December came in at $418,555. So year to date, we were up $213,511 from last year. So it's a substantial increase. In comparison to budget, we were up $101,976. The auto use tax collections in the month of January came in at $75,810. So that's actually down $34,936, and that aligns with the report that Clerk Grantham gave last week, 2 weeks ago. And the construction use tax came in at $8,907 in the month of January, which is up $3,361 from last year. The lodging tax came in at $29,505 in the month of December, so that came in $6,576 year to date from 2017. So the retail sales tax collections for the Sheriff's Department, this is the 1% sales tax, came in at $279,036 in the month of December, which is up $12,865. So year to date, those numbers came in $142,341 above 2017. The auto use tax collections for January came in at $50,540, which is down $23,290 from last year. And last, the construction use tax collections came in at $5,938 in the month of January, which is up $2,240. So we're off to an okay start. I think that we'll see how the auto use tax numbers come in, but I know sales tax and construction tax are doing well.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sunny.
All right, next we have citizens who wish to address commissioners on matters not scheduled on the agenda. We have Mr. George Story.
Could we sometime do other elected officials?
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on up, George, and then we'll do that.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, George.
We have an interesting summit going on at Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam in the next couple of days between President Trump and Kim Jong-un of North Korea. This is their second summit. And in the last 18 months, you haven't seen a single rocket fired from North Korea. So I think after 7 decades, hopefully the Korean War is over. USA, USA, USA. Thanks for letting me speak. Have a good day.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George.
And now we will move to other staff or elected officials.
Because you know I always have something to say.
Try to silence her and it doesn't work, right?
No, I'm not going to let that happen. A couple of things I would like to mention. First of all, one of the things that we do in Fremont County in our effort to always be more responsible, transparent, and accountable to our taxpayers is we do an annual report. So our HR director, Tammy Childs, has been hard at work over the last couple of months putting together this report. It has information from all of the departments here in Fremont County, as well as 1 or 2 of the other elected officials. We will be presenting that report, I believe, at our next meeting. So I just want to make you all aware it's coming up. We're always really excited to do this because it basically tells you all what we've done with all of your money over the last 12 months and gives you the opportunity to give us feedback if you would like to do so. The other thing I wanted to mention, Mr. Chair, was tonight is the big reveal for the Small Business Revolution. Starts at 5 o'clock at the Tiger Dome in Canyon City High School. I believe the 3 of us are going to try to be there tonight, and we would like to have lots and lots of people there. So if you have any chance, any opportunity, please get there. And again, I would just like to thank Ryan Stevens from the city of Canyon City. He's the economic developer there. He's the one who has spearheaded this entire thing, and whether or not Canyon City ends up being number 1 in this competition, I can tell you we already are a winner, because what's good for Canyon is good for all of Fremont County. What's good for Fremont County is good for all of Colorado. So I've just been so impressed with the way that people have come together. Businesses have just promoted. We're all doing our part, and I think it's been a really great thing. So thank you to everyone who has been involved with that.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm good.
Okay. All right, there is no old business, so we move to new business. The first item on the agenda is a resolution recognizing Grant Chess for his years of service to Fremont County. Grant, could we get you up front, please, sir? Yes, sir, he is. And I'm going to ask Commissioner Bell to read the resolution, and then I'm sure we'll all have a story to tell.
Absolutely. Maybe we should start with the stories. I don't know. So I would like to also point out we have almost a dozen of your coworkers from the Department of Transportation here supporting you this morning, and I know they're also all very sorry to see you go.
They had to drag me here.
They had to drag, well, that's why they're all here. Okay. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado regretfully accepts the retirement of Mr. Grant Chess as Fremont County Department of Transportation Equipment Operator. And whereas Grant Chess has been a loyal and valued employee of Fremont County from November 25th, 1991 until March 8th, 2019, earning much respect and admiration for his extraordinary level of dedication and skills in operating equipment for the county. And whereas Grant Chess provided Fremont County and its citizens with his expertise in road maintenance for over 27 years. And whereas Grant Chess's accomplishments are many and include the following: performing equipment operation to maintain county roads, operating equipment at a level above most with expert operating skills, operating equipment to overlay county roads with asphalt or chip seal materials, being an active participant in the annual rodeo, performing at an expert level, providing leadership and knowledge through example of character and skills to those who are subordinate, and for being a valuable senior operator and a relied upon leader for projects. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Fremont County, Colorado, hereby publicly recognizes and expresses its deep appreciation and that of the residents of Fremont County to Mr. Grant Chess for his decades of devoted service to Fremont County and its citizens. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall be read into the record of the Board of County Commissioners as a tribute to Mr. Grant Chess's service, and that the official seal of Fremont County shall be affixed thereto and delivered to him. And with that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve a resolution recognizing Mr. Grant Chess for his 27 years of service to Fremont County.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve a resolution honoring Grant Chess for his 27 years of service to Fremont County. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, sir. Resolution, if you'll turn around here, we'll get a good picture of some mug shots.
Okay, we're gonna do two more here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for showing up. Thank you guys for making me get here. A lot of times it's hard to find good hands on this equipment, and that's a good hand right there, so he will be missed.
Yes, he will.
All right.
I would like to point out, Mr. Chair, they're all now on their way back to work,
On the
like
way back
good
to the roads.
employees
Thank
should
you,
be.
guys. Thanks for what you do.
Thanks for being here.
Okay, next we have Mr. Nick Bexton. He's our Weed Management Director. This 2018 report. Good morning.
Morning, everyone. Thanks
Morning,
for having
Nick.
me.
Be noxious weeds.
Yeah.
Noxious weeds, that's correct.
So I got a little brief presentation to talk about our 2018 management activities. This is my first full year as the director, and I'm still here, so I think things went pretty well. First off, I'll start off by just acknowledging all of the partners we work with, the numerous private landowners and managers, the Fremont Conservation District, who provides us with our cost share funding to make things more affordable for these private landowners. The Upper Arkansas Cooperative Weed Management Association, whom I'm the vice president of, and they provide a lot of support for our work. And then the various government agencies, the BLM, who we do a lot of work for, State Land Board, Fremont DOT, Kansas City, Florence, and more than I can keep track of. So, we do. Here's just some of the species we focus on. We have 4 List A species here in Fremont County, which are mandated for eradication throughout the state. Luckily, they're all pretty sparsely populated, and we're working hard to get rid of them. We spend most of our time working on, the List B species. These are a lot more prevalent. Canada thistle, white top, leafy spurge, Russian olive. You've all probably seen these around town, and we're working to get rid of those too, but that's going to require a lot more effort. That's just a quick map of where we worked around the county. We spent a lot of time here in Canyon and Florence and Penrose, but also a lot of time up in the Tallahassee region and out west. So we've stayed busy in 2018.
Hey, Nick, can I back you up just 2 slides there, Sonny, please? So I just want to point out that on that List A there, the giant reed, we've had a lot of conversations about that, and a lot of people are using that as a decorative plant. It's actually a List A noxious weed.
Yeah.
So I think people ought to be aware that it looks similar to bamboo or cornstalk or lots of different things, but it does look kind of neat, but it is very aggressive, and it does expand with the root ball. So just kind of let people take note that if you have some of that as decorative, it is a List A noxious weed.
Yeah, and there are plenty of good alternatives. People do enjoy it because it is great for privacy and that kind of stuff, and it does look pretty, which is why it got planted in the first place. But we are working to try to eradicate that one because it is pretty prevalent in lawns and gardens around Canyon City and Florence and Penrose, and it is tough to eradicate too. So, thank you. We're working on a patch. So here's just a quick summary of all the work we did. We sprayed just shy of 296 acres back in 2018, which is pretty good considering the drought. Not many things were growing, but we still got a lot done. We worked with 24 private landowners through the Fremont Conservation District, their cost sharing funding, which was able to reduce their cost by 50% or more, which is great for them. good for us too because it means more work. We did a lot of work for Fremont DOT, BLM, Canyon City. We also contracted treatment for 16 acres of elongated mustard, which I'll talk about more in a minute. And we also contracted wilderness weeds to spray 34 acres of thistles along Grape Creek, which is funded by the BLM. We can't get in there because it's wilderness area, so we can't use our UTVs. He brings in a donkey team to carry around his spray equipment, which is a pretty interesting setup. But yeah, he
I
got
think
a lot
we need
done.
some pictures of that for next year.
I'll make sure to get some. And yeah, the average over the past 3 years treated by this department was 303 acres, so our 296 was just shy of that, which was pretty good considering our personnel issues and the drought. So yeah, so here's the elongated mustard project. Elongated mustard is a List A species, and its only location in Colorado is out in Wellsville along the Arkansas. The original infestation spanned over 2,000 acres, and it grows in steep rocky habitat, like in vertical cliff faces, so we can't treat that using our normal spray equipment. So for several years now, we've been hiring a helicopter to come spray the area, and the treatments have been going great. This year, we only sprayed 16 acres aerially, and that's down from 65 acres in 2017, 80 acres in 2016, and 160 in 2015. So it's working great. The chemicals we use don't seem to have any impact on the native vegetation growing around it. And the helicopter pilot, who's pictured on the right there, it's pretty impressive the things he can do with his helicopter.
And Nick, you sprayed only 16 acres last year because that's all there was to
Yep,
spray?
that's
all
all
that
we
was
saw.
left out of 2,000 acres originally?
Yeah, well,
That's
it
impressive.
covered 2,000 acres,
Sure.
but
That's impressive.
yeah, no, so things have been going really well, and it's a cooperative effort between us and Chaffee County, also the BLM, the Department of Ag, and then State Land Board. And the Department of Ag is the one who largely funds this through the Noxious Weed Fund grant, and we applied for that funding again, and we should get that, so we should be able to keep treating this List A species and hopefully get rid of it one of these days. Here's just a couple of pictures of the other List A's we're working on. We have some giant reed along the Arkansas, which we cut down and sprayed, and the picture on the right is a little bit of regrowth, but I've been talking to that landowner, and he actually excavated that whole area, so we'll keep an eye on it, but that should be gone. Pictures of some myrtle spurge, which we hand pulled on the east side of Canyon, and then Japanese knotweed, which loves growing around the ditches here in Canyon. That one, real hard to kill. We've been spraying it for at least 5 years now, and it's not spreading, but it's also not dying, so we're going to look into some more intensive management options for that one. Rainbow Park is one of the other big projects we completed last year. It was a cooperative effort. We were working with 21 different landowners, mainly private landowners, but also the city of Florence at the river park down there, Penrose Water, and a couple other partners. We removed and treated 98 acres of Russian olive and tamarisk along that section of the Arkansas, as well as 30 acres of herbaceous weeds that moved in after we took out the Russian olive. So it was a joint effort. NRCS was a big partner in that one. They helped us get it done. The Conservation District as well. It was largely funded through the Water Conservation Board, and then we hired the Swift chainsaw crew, Open Range Land, and Fire Shield to help get rid of those trees because that was more than our department could handle. So on the bottom you can see before and after pictures looking down from the highway bridge, looking downstream, and the area looks so much better. There's so much more room.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah, it looks great now. And then there's the chainsaw crew team working on the right there as well, and those guys were great. And the project wouldn't have been able to get completed without them. So. One of the other big things we did in 2018 was a lot of biocontrol. We introduced Canada thistle rust, which is a fungus that targets only Canada thistle. We inoculated two sites in the fall, and we're hoping that they stick and we can harvest more because this biocontrol has shown in certain sites to reduce Canada thistle populations by 90% after 2 years, which is pretty staggering. So we're hoping we can spread that around. We also introduced some leafy spurge for Russian knapweed or some biocontrol for Russian knapweed and leafy spurge, and we're hoping to spread those as well because it's a lot easier than spraying and a lot more effective in the long term. Here's just a quick overview of our budget. We started off the year 2018 with $36,000, and we ended with over 65, which is a pretty good financial year for the weed department. We got a lot done with our limited personnel. And yeah, our approved budget for 2019 looks pretty good. Starting off with 65. Our estimate right now is 60, but been trying to get some new contracts and new partnering agencies to make up that difference. Sounds like Parks and Wildlife and the U.S. Forest Service might have some additional projects for us to work on this year, so should be good. And yeah, just quick plans for this year. We're going to continue working on the mustard project, and as working with private landowners to get rid of the other List A species we have. Looking for new partnering agencies and private landowners. We're trying to get the word out there about the work we do. And yeah, continue working with the biocontrol. We're also going to do a focus more on aquatic and riparian weeds because they've been a little neglected in the past. And yeah, we're going to keep working with the folks down in Custer County, even though they do have a new weed manager down there. He also works for Huerfano, and he does good stuff, but we're going to continue helping out while we can. So that's, I think that's about it. So I just want to thank the Board of Commissioners for all their support.
Yeah, Nick, thank you for all the work you've done. I do have a question for you. So if a landowner has a List A noxious weed and are using it for decorative, what are the steps that you have to take, or are there steps you have to take since it is a noxious?
Yeah, the Department of Agriculture has mandated those for eradication, so they are legally required to be removed. Since it is a legal requirement, we tend to work, help those landowners for free or as low as cost as possible. Most of the List A infestations are pretty small, so we do that pretty much pro bono because they're mandated to get rid of them. And we also provide native options for their gardens and that kind of stuff to replace them. So.
Awesome. And then if a landowner finds a List A or just weeds, you have services available that they can call you and make arrangements to come out and help them with their weeds, right?
Yep. Yeah, we do weed management plans for free. We're also available for hire to spray, and we can sell chemicals to the public if they want to treat it on their own. So there's lots of different options.
All right, and those folks can get in touch with you through our county website, fremontco.com. Go to departments, go to weed management, and they're going to find telephone numbers, they'll find email address.
Yeah,
all of those things.
And those are good ways to get in touch with me because I'm rarely in the office during the summer. So.
Absolutely, yes.
The weeds are growing.
Well, Nick, thank you so much. I know as you indicated, you haven't been in this job for very long. You've been here for a full year now, plus a little, and you've really stepped in and you're filling those little tiny shoes that Jana Rapetti had before you, but you're doing it in a really great way. So I just want to say thank you. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
Might have been a little tiny, but they were still big shoes, and you did a great job.
Yeah.
That's right.
She did a great job, and I'm happy to inherit that program and keep her running. So.
All right.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Next order of business is liquor license renewal. Late fee waiver request for PS Camping Incorporated. Business is Prospector RV Park. We have Rhonda Shirato. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So I guess first of all, we can start with the staff report on this.
Yeah, everything's in order in our office. Everything was submitted. The application's in order. She is asking for a late fee waiver request because she has to get it into us 45 days prior, and it was beyond that. So she's got to ask the board for the waiver of the late fee, which is $100.
Okay.
But other than that, everything was in order.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
I just have a quick question. I'm looking at the map that you have drawn out here for us. Has that changed in any way, or is that continues to be what it was last time?
It's exactly how it used to be.
Exactly
There's
the
no
same.
change.
Okay. And I also would simply note our packet does reflect that both our health officer and the sheriff have both recommended approval.
Thank you.
Okay, and so you were 5 days late is all?
Yes.
Is what you were late? And you were late last year too, as I recall.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. I believe we waived it last year.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we waive the $100 late fee.
And approve the renewal.
And approve the renewal.
And approve the renewal.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the renewal and waive the late fee for PS Camping doing business as Prospector RV Park. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would now be a good time to ask for an update regarding my last request on the emergency housing for the Homeless
I
Coalition?
was going to email you, but I could tell you instead of emailing you, yes,
Okay.
that what the county is currently doing through DHS is what the county will continue to do and can continue to do at this point.
So your answer is there is no additional funding that can go to the Emergency Homeless Coalition?
Correct.
Okay. Can you give me an explanation as to why at the October meeting that was held in an emergency session, I do believe Commissioner Payne was in attendance at that meeting, that the county did agree to work on and look at the emergency homeless issue and agreed to partner with the city with regards to getting these homeless off the streets?
This is not on your agenda.
Yeah, this is not. So I can email you that and we can talk about that, because I don't know the answer to that. But
Okay.
what DHS is currently doing to help the folks is what will continue to happen, and they continue to look at it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I have an explanation as to what I feel is a personal attack on me with regards to this homeless issue?
Ma'am, this is not on the agenda, and it is not a personal attack.
Okay. Do you know that the council last meeting, not even one of you said thank you at all for housing these 25 families? I just wanted to bring that up to your attention. You're so great to thank everybody for everything, and what I receive is dismissal, and what I take as a personal attack with not even a thank you for those, let me correct, 23 families, because you are right. We've got 2 that accept vouchers up there. Can you explain to me what it is that I've done to not even receive, gosh, a thank you for housing these people over the winter?
We're not going to get into that right now. We need to move on with our agenda, please.
Still
Thank
not
you.
going to say thank you. Carrie, I want to make sure that you and I chat afterwards with regards to the questions that you asked me on the Homeless Coalition. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, on to number 4, approval of Fremont County Airport land lease with just-in-time cargo for property to be developed, known as hangar number 5, and approval of a 5-year landing area lease for landing zone number 2. We have Jason Dawson. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so I guess if you want to start just a little bit and tell us what's happening here, and then we'll let Sonny talk about
It
this.
sounds like we're moving along with the hangar project over at the airport. I think Sonny's got a lease available for us, and hopefully we can get it finalized.
And what you're trying to do, though, is to develop a hangar adjacent to a landing zone for your skydiving, correct?
Correct.
Okay, Sonny?
Sure. So actually, everything is in place as far as the exhibits go. So we have the proposed location, which is just east of the T hangars that are currently located out at the airport. It's going to be a 65 by 95 with allowance for sidewalk and parking around that area. So Mr. Dawson is going to be putting in a new hangar at that location. And just this is contingent upon FAA approval, so that process has been started. So we're working with the FAA to get final approval with that. So this has gone before the Airport Advisory Board. It has gone before our consultants in Armstrong Consulting. And we're at this point ready to make a recommendation for a formal approval of the land lease. The second piece of this is he already has in existence a lease agreement for the landing area for the drop zone for his skydiving company. So what he's requesting is a 5-year lease for that. Currently, it's a year-to-year lease with the opportunity to renew that for an additional 5 years at the end of that, just to make it a little more consistent with the long-term plan of his skydiving business. So all of that is before you today. There's the 2 different lease agreements, one for the new hangar and one to extend that landing zone. We're also changing the name on the landing lease. So the original lease was with U.S. Aeronautics, which is also a business that's owned by Mr. Dawson. So this just will align the 2 leases to where they'll both be under the just-in-time cargo name of the businesses.
Okay, so it has been submitted to FAA for approval. Do you have any idea how long that takes? No telling.
2 months. I'm hoping that I can speed it along. I just spoke with the FAA this morning, and she's going to try to sidestep the cultural requirement study that's we don't feel needs to be done because the site's been so used over the years. I guess the T hangars next door did not get the study done, but the runway extension did. So nothing was found in that record search, so she's pretty confident we can move forward.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not worried about any height restrictions or any setbacks with the FAA requirements. I've looked at them. So the
chances
cultural requirement was the only
Yeah.
thing that came up that
So
was not
chances are
expected.
they'll approve it then. So anything we do then, as Sonny said, will be contingent upon the FAA approval, which will come.
Yeah, and we do have plans to improve the landing area, but we will come back to you with that and Sunny, so I'll be with that.
Okay, and just for clarification, Sunny, the land lease for the hangar also is a 5-year lease with the option to
No,
renew?
so the land lease for the hangar is a 25-year lease, which is consistent with the other new land leases that we're doing out at the county airport. So the hangar lease is 25 years. The landing zone is 5 years.
Okay, thank you for that.
And both have renewable 5-year extensions.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Wishes?
I have a
Yes.
motion.
Any other questions? We have a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve both the Fremont County Airport land lease with Just-in-Time Cargo LLC for the property to be developed and known as Hangar Number 5, as well as approval of the 5-year landing area lease for Landing Zone Number 2, also with Just-in-Time Cargo LLC.
With the contingency of the FAA approval.
Yes, with that contingency. Thank you.
Second.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded for approval of the airport land lease with just-in-time cargo for development of hangar number 5 and all 25-year lease, and also a 5-year landing area lease for landing zone number 2, contingent upon the FAA approval. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Right, number 5, OPC 17-001, JMC Enterprise, optimal premise, just skip that word.
Optional.
Optional premise, cultivation commercial greenhouse. We have Jeff Kane. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so this is a 2019 renewal. This is the second year, I believe?
Third.
Third year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is there anything that you need to report or would like to say before we go to a staff report?
No, sir. No violations. We've found a comfortable spot. Really no significant changes or anything, so it's kind of about the same as last year.
It's no violations is awesome.
And this is on County Road 835C, which is south of Florence.
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't have close neighbors out there?
No, ma'am.
Perfect.
It's kind of the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Yes.
All right, staff report, Marshall.
And this property is located south of Florence. This is a renewal request.
Marshall, could you use the microphone, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
This is a renewal request. And the grow area is about 2 acres. We've received, they have provided all of the application items, and we haven't received complaints. So,
And the reason I believe it's in front of us today is because this is the 3rd year for renewal, so after this, it will go to administrative renewal unless there are problems. Is that
Right.
correct?
Correct?
that's
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, is there any further questions or?
No, Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the OPC 17-001 renewal for JMC Enterprises.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve renewal for JMC Enterprises. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 6, OPC 14-001, the Green Source, formerly today's Healthcare 1 and 2, is an optional premise cultivation commercial greenhouse, and it is a 2019 renewal. Do we have a representative, Natalie? We have no representative. Okay, the reason this one is before us is this is instead of being administratively approved, there were a couple of complaints this year on this one, and that is why it is before us today. So, Marshall, I'll have a staff report, please.
Okay. This is for renewal. The property is located at 934 C Street in the Penrose area. It's on the east side. The actual property contains approximately 10 acres. There are some things that they have not provided. We need an updated lease prior to the April expiration date of their current lease. We need an updated valid Colorado state license at the renewal time. And we did receive 2 complaints last year. One starting in January and the other one in April. These had to do with odor and lighting. The first one was just odor. The second one was lighting. They're in the process of revamping their lighting situation and putting in a new curtain, but that has not been completed. Our last inspection of the property was on December 19th, and that was an evening inspection. The curtain was still not in place. The light was leaving the property boundaries. Slight odor was detected, but it did not register with our odor machine.
Did not register at all?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so I see, no, they're working on the curtains, but there's one hoop house, as they call it, that cannot have the dark curtains on it. So they've agreed to no lights or lighting only from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. to eliminate that.
Right.
So what do we have, four contingency items here? Is that right?
3.
Well, 3, the lighting, that 4 to 10, and then the updated lease and the updated Colorado state license.
Okay.
I have a question, Marshall. Do you know when you sent the email to Natalie requiring her to address the situation, do you know how long it took for them to fix that odor mitigation system?
I'm reviewing the field notes.
That's
for
fine.
Code enforcement.
Thank you.
Okay, on March 29th, an email was sent to Natalie regarding the odor issues discovered, and 10-day time frame was given to get the odor mitigation installed and operating.
Okay. And that was completed within that 10 days?
Right.
Okay. Also, do you happen to know why it took an email from the county saying you have a problem, you need to fix it? Do you have any information on that? Okay. Okay. Thank you. But we've had no further complaints since then, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We have monitored the situation, since the second complaint through last month, well, through December.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
I'm done.
good. You got any further questions?
All right, Mr. Chair, I would move to approve the optional premises cultivation for a commercial greenhouse for the Green Source, formerly Today's Healthcare 1 and 2, located at 934 C Street in Penrose,
With the contingencies.
with all 3 contingencies.
Okay, second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve renewal of OPC 14-001, the green source, with 3 contingencies as stated previous. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, on to the addition to the agenda, number 7. It is a resolution for Fremont County Board of County Commissioners, Fremont County, Colorado, declaring Fremont County to be a Second Amendment sanctuary county. It has come before the state legislature this year. There's a red flag law, as they're calling it, pertaining to gun rights. I reached out to the sheriff. He and I have had conversations on this. And Sheriff, if you want to step up and I want to hear, let you weigh in on this a little bit, this red flag law. It is House Bill 1177, which is kind of does away with due process, which is what what we're founded on from our forefathers.
Yes, I have reviewed the House Bill 1177, and I'm not going to go into a big speech about my opinions, both professionally and personally. I'm going to just speak narrowly to the topic, is that I did ask staff to review House Bill 1177, and it's our opinion that it does not offer enough due process to anyone who is targeted with an accusation of being maybe mentally incompetent or dangerous, and that the redress for someone that's falsely accused does not exist. So I cannot support this bill as it is currently written.
Okay, so looking at it, it kind of goes against the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, which is due process, the 14th Amendment. I guess the Fourth Amendment also is unreasonable search. So what this is a resolution opposing this, whereas Fremont counties have the authority to adopt, enforce ordinances and resolutions regarding health, safety, and welfare issues, and provide the powers as a county of the county as a body politic corporate shall be exercised by the Board of County Commissioners. The Second Amendment of the United States Constitution, adopted in 1771 as part of the Bill of Rights, protects inalienable and individual rights of people to keep and bear arms. There are 3 Supreme Court rulings on this, which go against what the Colorado government is trying to pass. Article 2, Section 3 of the Constitution of the Colorado provides that all persons shall have certain inalienable rights, among which they may be reckoned the right and enjoy of defending their lives and liberties, of acquiring, possessing, protecting property, and seeking and attaining safety and happiness. Article 13 of the Constitution of the Colorado provides the right of no person to keep and bear arms in defense of his home, persons, or property, or aid in the civil powers when thereto legally summoned shall be called in question. And Article 2, Section 11 of the Colorado Constitution provides that no ex post facto law, nor law impairing the obligation or contracts or retrospective in its operation shall be passed by the General Assembly. Article 2, Section 7 of the Colorado Constitution provides that the people shall be secure in their person, paper, homes, effective, unreasonable search and seizure. Article 2, Section 15 of the Constitution of the Colorado provides that private property shall not be taken or damaged or for public or private use without just compensation, which the Colorado Supreme Court has indicated includes the legal interference with the physical use, possession, disposition, or enjoyment of the property, including temporarily. And whereas it is the desire of the board to declare its support for the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution and the Colorado Constitution, protecting citizens' inalienable and individual rights to keep and bear arms. The members of this board took an oath to support and defend the United States Constitution and the Constitution of the State of Colorado and the laws of the State of Colorado insofar as they are constitutional. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of County of Fremont, by authority granted by the board, by the laws of the State of Colorado and the people of Fremont County, Colorado, to stand and defend their rights and liability and liberties, which are guaranteed by the United States and Colorado Constitutions, we hereby declare this resolution to be a Second Amendment preservation resolution designating Fremont County as a Second Amendment sanctuary county. We resolve that this board affirms its support for the duly elected sheriff of Fremont County, Colorado, in the exercise of its sound discretion, and affirm its resolve to support decisions by our sheriff to not enforce the unconstitutional firearms laws against citizens. Therefore, further it be resolved that this board will not authorize or appropriate government funds, resources, employees, agencies, contractors, buildings, detention centers, or office for the purpose of enforcing the unconstitutional infringes on the right of the people to keep and bear arms. With that, I move to approve resolution number 12, which is a resolution of Fremont County Board of County Commissioners, Fremont County, Colorado, declaring Fremont County to be a Second Amendment sanctuary county.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 12, declaring Fremont County as a sanctuary Second Amendment county. Any other discussion?
Yes, sir. As I told the sheriff this morning, what bothers me the most on this is the Fourth Amendment to the Bill of Rights and the due process and probable cause. That's been in place for over 200 years and served us well. And for this to be attacked bothers me. And that bothers me more than about anything else. So that is just something I wanted to state and for my support on this.
I agree with that. I think it should not only disturb residents and citizens, but it should deeply disturb residents and citizens, because we all feel as though a right is being taken away. And so Fremont County has no interest whatsoever in participating with that. So that's why we are taking the action we're taking today.
So I'd just like to end this with a quote from Thomas Jefferson, which was over 200 years ago. Is the strongest reason for the people to retain the right to keep and bear arms is, at last resort, to protect themselves against tyranny and government. Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. With no further business before us, this meeting is adjourned.
No, that's why we just did what we did. Yes, yes. So we're taking local control and saying, if you choose to do this, we will not.
And so he went back and he owned his own business even while he was working there. So he does land surveying, so he owns Cornerstone Land Surveying. He owns that company. And so he just went back to the private